Hello everyone, my name is Amery Bodelson and I am your instructor for the Spring 2019 online version of Introduction to Literature. I wanted to say hi, put a face to a name, give you a little bit of an overview of who I am and what you can expect in this course. So my name is Amery, and if it helps to remember mnemonically, it rhymes with Camry, like the Toyota, and last name is Bodelson, so emphasis on the first syllable and a long O, Bodelson, so you can call me either one. And I have been an instructor at Western since 2009, and prior to that I was teaching at night while I was doing my full-time job as a grant writer for UWL. I have been with Western since 2009, and prior to that I had about 10 years of grant writing and technical writing experience in Fargo, North Dakota, and Madison, Wisconsin, and La Crosse. I teach courses like this. I teach English and speech and some job skills related courses, but mostly the classes that I recur every time I teach are this course, the literature course, speech and English composition. So I know that I might have a few students whom I've had before in prior classes, and I welcome you back. And if this is your first time with me, welcome. I have 2 cats, and I'm married to a husband named Dan. We've been together. It will be our 20-year anniversary this year, 2019. And in 2015, my brother and his wife had triplets. So now I am an auntie to 2 nephews and a niece who live in Washington, and like to get out there and visit them when I can. In my free time, I enjoy traveling, so when I'm not teaching, I'm trying to plan a trip somewhere, and for our 20-year anniversary, I'm hoping to go to Spain this year. And I also enjoy doing yoga. I've started a book club this year with some friends, so I like reading in my off time as well, and walking and cooking and just getting together with friends and having a nice meal and a good glass of wine. So that's a little bit about who I am personally. And in this course, we are going to be covering literature with a capital L, and sometimes that can feel daunting or intimidating, and what makes literature literature versus just something that you're reading. And the long and short of it is that literature is classified as those works that we've agreed upon as professionals in the field are great works of art, and that often means that they endure. So even if they're written 10, 50, 100, 200 plus years ago, if we're still reading them and talking about them and using examples and lessons from them, they're often considered great works of literature. So we are going to dip our toes into the 3 main genres of literature this spring. That means we will be reading, starting with fiction. Fiction is stories that are told that are not true. They obviously can have some elements of truth to them, and sometimes they may be based in truth or based on characters that the writer knows, but they are a creation of the author's mind. So we will start with fiction, and we will start with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which is celebrating its 200th year of publication. After we read fiction, we then go into poetry, and so I have a smattering of different authors and different styles of poems that you'll be reading. And reading poetry is sometimes akin to doing menial work for a lot of people. It's something that's abstract and misunderstood and confusing, and purposely so. And I hope that you'll find in the selection of poems some that you can relate to. I've tried to pick slightly more modern poets, more modern pieces that have themes that maybe are more relatable. And then finally we will read drama. We will read 3 pieces of drama in this section. We read a short play by an author from 1920. We will read a short play from a more modern day Asian American author, and then we will stick with a classic Shakespeare comedy. And a couple of those works are not in your book, but I will provide you links and access to where you can find that information. And then finally you will write and dive into some critical theory. And theory just means ways that we look at reading literature differently. Just like we all have different points of view and experiences, the way we interpret and analyze literature can differ too, and the way that classic scholars and critics of literature have analyzed it have changed throughout time, depending on what's going on in history. So you'll get a little bit of an overview of some of the primary ways that we analyze literature, and then you'll be able to apply those theories to that literature. So all in all, you're going to be doing fiction, poetry, and drama. You will write one essay on each of those units, and then you will write a final essay using theory to analyze one piece of literature that we've read together as a class. You'll also have some discussion board posts, some journals, and some reader responses due throughout. All of your essays will require you to post a rough draft, give some feedback to peers, and then post a final draft. And I will be giving you some extra credit opportunity in the way that you give feedback to peers. So look for that information to come in your first round of essays. So that's a brief overview. I hope that in the next few days, as you get settled into this new spring term and coming back from holiday break, that you're able to review some of the materials that I've posted. And if you do have any questions or concerns, the fastest way to reach me is via email, and I've posted that on Blackboard. Otherwise, I look forward to getting to know you via our discussion boards next week, and look forward to learning more about you and getting into some of this fantastic literature. Have a happy rest of the week, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.